this video, we are going to show you 4 such incidents that will leave you absolutely restless. Make sure to watch until the very end, because this journey is going to be incredibly intense. In December 2003, officials entering an apartment in London discovered a scene that would shock the world. Sitting on a sofa was the skeletal remains of a woman, and in front of her, the television set was still turned on, flickering in the dark. This was 38-year-old Joyce Vincent. The most harrowing detail of this discovery was that Joyce had actually passed away in 2001. Yet, for 3 full years, no one realized she was gone. Her apartment was completely sealed, her bills were being paid through automatic debit, and the TV continued to broadcast to an empty room. Beside her lay wrapped Christmas presents that she had prepared for loved ones, but never got the chance to send. Joyce wasn't a loner in the traditional sense. She had friends, a family, and had previously held high-profile jobs. However, she had slowly detached herself from her social circle. Neighbors had noticed a faint smell, but they attributed it to the garbage bins below. They heard the constant noise of the TV, but assumed she was just home. This tragic event raised a profound question about the isolation of modern society. How can a person die in a crowded city and remain unnoticed for 3 years? In 1986, a young woman named Sherry Rasmussen was brutally murdered in her Los Angeles home. At the time, police concluded it was a botched robbery, and for over 20 years, the case remained cold. However, in 2009, advanced DNA technology revealed a truth that shook the Los Angeles Police Department to its core. The killer was not a random burglar, but a high-ranking police officer, Stephanie Lazarus. As it turned out, Stephanie was the ex-girlfriend of Sherry's husband and had been fueled by an obsessive, jealous rage. Perhaps the most disturbing part of the story is that after committing the murder, Stephanie continued her career in the LAPD for 2 decades, eventually becoming a respected detective. When she was finally brought in for questioning, she remained eerily calm, believing her police training would help her manipulate the interview. However, when confronted with the fact that her DNA matched a bite mark found at the crime scene, her composure shattered. She was sentenced to life in prison. This case serves as a terrifying reminder that sometimes a person sworn to protect society is the one the public should fear the most. On Christmas Eve 1994, Air France Flight 8900969 was hijacked by 4 terrorists in Algiers. Their plan was far more sinister than a simple hostage situation. They intended to fly the plane into the Eiffel Tower in Paris, years before the events of 9/11. To demonstrate their ruthlessness, terrorists began executing passengers. When the plane eventually landed in Marseille to refuel, the eyes of the entire world were on the aircraft. For the next several hours, millions of people watched live on television as the standoff reached its breaking point. In a breathtaking display of precision, the French Special Forces, GIGN, stormed the plane. Live footage captured the sounds of heavy gunfire, grenade explosions, and the sight of passengers leaping from the cockpit windows and emergency slides. Miraculously, all 229 passengers and crew survived the assault, while all 4 terrorists were killed. It remains one of the most daring and successful rescue operations in history, captured in real time for a global audience. On Christmas Eve, 1971, 17-year-old Julianne Kepke was traveling on a plane with her mother over the Peruvian rainforest. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning struck the aircraft, causing it to break apart mid-air. Julianne, still strapped to her seat, fell 10,000 feet directly into the heart of the Amazon jungle. Incredibly, she survived the fall, with only a broken collarbone and deep gashes. She found herself alone, without food, and surrounded by one of the most dangerous environments on Earth. However, Julianne was the daughter of scientists, and she remembered a crucial survival tip: follow the water. She found a small stream and began walking through the dense brush, knowing that water eventually leads to civilization. For 11 days, she battled swarms of insects, waded past crocodiles, and dealt with extreme hunger and infected wounds. Finally, she stumbled upon a small hut used by local lumbermen, who provided her with medical aid. Julianne was the sole survivor of the crash. Her story of sheer will and intelligence continues to be one of the greatest survival tales ever recorded. These 4 stories remind us that real life can often be more terrifying, strange, and inspiring than any Hollywood movie. From the quiet tragedy of Joyce Vincent to the incredible resilience of Julianne Koepcke, these events are permanently etched into history.